Hey everyone, this is News Goblins, a weekly news podcast where we cover all the nerd news you need to know and some you don't. I'm your host, Leslie, or whatever.
Why so glum, little bear?
Well, Jared, we just went to go see Black Panther, and I have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I can't just go and see it again.
Quit your job. We can live on Black Panther
I
alone.
don't think that's true.
Yes.
No, it's not true.
The memory of Black Panther will shelter and feed us.
It was so good, though.
It was so good.
I mean, like, I don't even
good.
I don't even know what to say about it. It was so good.
Well, let's spoil it for everybody.
No, we're not going to spoil it.
Kidding.
You guys do not have to turn it off.
We're not going to spoil
We're not
Black
gonna spoil
Panther.
it.
But Black Panther is actually the name of the sled. Oh, shit.
Oh, god damn,
Shit.
Jared! Ah!
Oh, I spoiled.
Yeah, Black Panther dies in the end.
What? Oh, he was dead the whole time.
We actually know that he didn't die because he's appearing in the next movie. So
Oh, he was a ghost the
he
whole
was
time.
dead the
then.
whole time.
Yeah.
It was all a dream.
Right. And then he takes off his T'Challa mask and it's Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm. It was a weird twist, but you know, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
So I saw it actually. It's the second time I've seen it.
Yeah.
And so Leslie and I went today, and I was so excited about Leslie going because I'm like, okay, cool. I can finally talk to you about this. I've been bursting with a desire to talk to somebody about it. And then we went to see it together and then went to dinner, and our conversation was just kind of like...
It was really good, right?
It was good.
It was so good.
I super liked it.
I like this part. What was your favorite part? My favorite part was this, but also this part. I liked when she hit that guy with a stick.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think, we decided to do a bonus-ode when we did, when we watched the new Star Wars. I don't know if we're going to do that for Black Panther or not, just because...
I don't know that we can, simply because all it will be is us being, like, super pumped about everything all the time.
See, I believe that if we digest it a little more, we'll have smart things to say about it. But right now, it's just pure
good.
enthusiasm. Enthusiasm for the movie has crowded out all other thoughts.
Also, shout out to the little girl, maybe 5 or 6, that was, like, 4 seats down from us, who danced for a full half of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, just got up and jumped and danced and giggled, and it did improve my movie-going experience pretty dramatically.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That movie made me cry a couple times for no reason.
Oh, God, yeah, me too.
I said it made me cry at a car chase at one point, and I'm like, why are my eyes leaking?
Sometimes you just, like, you are excited to be part of watching a really good movie.
Right. This is good. It has exceeded my expectations. My eyeballs are peeing.
Yeah. It just felt powerful.
Yeah.
And unexpected.
Yes.
It was so good.
There's been applause at the end of it both times I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing to you, listener, that I hate when it's done to me, which is overhype a movie.
I don't feel like it's a danger with this movie, though.
Yeah, I specifically
It's good.
avoided
You'll
all
like
talk
it.
of this until I got to see it.
I mean, unless you're going in expecting, like, I don't know, Woody Allen. Like, unless you're going
Like
in
garbage?
expecting... Yeah, like moody,
Yeah.
introspective kind of sadness for sadness sake sort of movie, you may be disappointed then. I think you might be disappointed.
Why are you going to a superhero movie? Who are you?
Yeah. Yeah, if you like walk into the wrong theater,
Yeah.
you'll probably be disappointed.
Yeah, go see Black Panther.
So, Black Panther had a $192 million opening weekend, which is one of the highest openings of all time.
Wow.
The movies with higher grossing opening weekends are Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Jurassic World, and The Avengers.
Fucking nerds rule the world.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
And it cost about $200 million to make, so it is paid for itself in the first weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, so we just saw it tonight, and this is Sunday, and all the showings were sold out,
Yeah, we had
and
to
it was
sneak in.
released on Thursday. So
We actually ended up giving our seats up and moving to help a family sit together.
Yes, we're saints.
Because it was that. No, I just meant it was that full.
Yeah,
That
it
this
was.
family had to split themselves up to go see it.
Yeah. So more on Black Panther later, maybe.
Yeah, if we ever stop having a feeling that's just like, oh my God, then we'll probably have more thoughts on that. Two news items in case you've missed it related to this, related to the Black Panther, is that so there's several groups that are using Black Panther showings to register voters.
Oh, cool.
We're very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. If you are thinking of doing that, I've seen a couple people thinking of using events like this to register voters. Please remember that in a lot of states, there is a 24-hour limit. You have to turn in registrations within 24 hours or you can be charged.
Interesting.
So if you're thinking of putting that sort of thing together, it is a little bit more complicated than just getting the forms.
How dare you politicize the Black Panther?
Yeah.
That sentence is ridiculous.
I couldn't even process it.
Like, that's what I have seen over and over again on the interwebs. I don't know. I was cruising around on the Nerdist Facebook page, and all of these people are butthurt about the idea that the movie Black Panther, that we're having a discussion in a political context about it.
You mean a superhero that fought the KKK?
Yeah.
That Black Panther?
Jack Kirby
Actually,
explicitly created because he said there wasn't enough representation.
Who had him fight? I found this out the other day. I was wrong because I told you that Kirby wrote the bit where he fought the KKK, and I looked into it more. It is not Kirby, it's McGregor.
Huh. Well, you can Google the quote from Jack Kirby about the creation of Black Panther, and the man specifically says that Black Panther arose out of his feeling that there wasn't enough representation. Yeah. So,
and one of the great things, we're still talking about Black Panther. We keep saying we're done with
Black
Panther.
We're not going to talk about Black Panther. What were you saying about Black Panther?
Yeah, so the director gave a great interview on NPR.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I have heard a director of one of the superhero movies talk about how much he liked comics. Yeah. And that should not be a thing, first of all. Like, why are we hiring directors who have, like, zero experience with the comics? But he was talking about how influential Black Panther was when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So, and you can tell. I mean, it bleeds through the seams of this movie.
It does, and I didn't read a lot of different comics when I was a kid, but Black Panther was one of the ones I read religiously, which was probably weird for a rural white 12-year-old like me.
Well, you're weird.
But I, you know, there are quite a few things in the movie that I'm like, oh shit, the the white gorilla tribe. I remember them. That really stuck out for comic fans.
Sort of some bummer news related to the movie is that quite a few, I've seen about maybe 10 different versions of this, fake accounts are popping up of people attacked at Black Panther screenings. Huh? So generally they'll use some sort of stock photo. There was one instance where they used the wife of Rob Porter, her picture with the black eye. They post that photo and they'll say, like, my girlfriend was attacked at a Black Panther screening saying that white people weren't allowed. And they're all fake. Because people are awful.
Yep, people are garbage.
People are terrible.
But Black Panther is good and you should go see it.
It's very good.
There. We're done talking about Black Panther.
Okay. Next piece of news. Mattel has released a Tomb Raider Barbie.
Neat.
Yeah.
Does she have a bow and arrow?
She's got an ice pick.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's about it.
That's the news?
That's it.
Huh. Is there a Ken? And is Ken just like a desiccated mummy man with flaming red eyes?
I mean, we played the beginning of that, and like all of the white dudes die. Every time they introduce a white dude character, he dies like 5 minutes later.
In what? What property are you talking about?
When we were playing it, what's the newest one?
You're talking about the newest one.
Yeah. This is it. She's obviously based on the newest one.
Okay. Yeah.
She doesn't have like perfectly flat stabbing boobs. She's like
big old pyramid boobs.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I enjoyed the most recent video game, so
I'm just saying if they had a Ken doll, you'd have to have like an exploding chest wound or something.
Well, hey, he could have a tragic death, and that could motivate Barbie. It could be fridging.
Action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some video games coming up.
I like video games.
The Secret of Mana remaster for PS4 came out this week. I actually played this a lot.
Yeah, what is that? That doesn't ring a bell.
It's an 8-bit game from way back, but they've recolored it and they've redone it. It's a fantasy game that's it's sort of reminiscent of the old 8-bit Zelda games.
All right.
It's that sort
Tell
of
me
flavor.
more about the way back, whippersnapper.
You know, honestly, this is one of those games that like was a little too weird for little Leslie.
Really?
I remember being a little like scared of this game because there were a lot of things in this game. Like, so you were like you had your sword and you were exploring the world, kind of Zelda style. And there were a lot of things that looked like one thing and then became another thing. So you'd go to attack them and then like suddenly they were a big monster. And that freaked me out when I was little. I didn't like it at all.
Poor tiny Leslie.
I was terrified of that. But maybe I'll play the remaster.
Well, what is it? Tell me what the title of it is again.
The Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana.
So it's an 8-bit like explory game.
Explory, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like a platformer. Like it's an open.
So it's not side-scrolling. It's
no.
Like, okay.
I'm not actually sure what that's called. What is that called when it's like, you know, you have a D-pad and you can go up, down, sideways, but it's like open and big. It's not side-scroller because you don't just go. I don't know. It's that. Someone tweeted at me.
Called the Ferengi model.
That's right. It is called the Ferengi model. Thank you, Jared. Metal Gear Survive is out on the 20th.
Neat.
Neither of us play that.
Solid Snake.
Yep.
Do you expect me to contribute more than that?
I don't have anything to contribute either. I'm sorry.
I bet he shoots people. Hey, how about the sneaking part where you can do stealth kills? I
was
bet.
actually going to buy the latest game, and then I saw all of the stuff around the lady character, Whisper. Silence. Her name is Silence.
Silent Snake.
And she is dumb, and I couldn't handle it.
Cool.
She's basically just wearing a bikini and thigh highs.
The stealthiest clothes.
Well, supposedly she can only breathe through her skin, so she can't wear any clothes.
What?
Yeah.
This is in Metal Gear?
I'm not making this up.
What?
Yeah.
Does she photosynthesize?
Kinda.
This is in Metal Gear.
Yes.
Okay, I think I have fundamentally misunderstood what these games are then.
Also, there's a dog in it. Anyway, so there's also a game coming out called Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game.
Oh, that's what I named my first dog.
That's what we're going to name our child.
Well, I've already forgotten it, so that's going to be a challenge.
Monster
but go
Energy
for it.
Supercross Anderson, the video game.
/child.
Perhaps more exciting, coming out on Thursday the 22nd, is a game called Space Cats with Lasers.
You know, I think I actually have seen this one.
Yeah, you fight...
What's it about?
You fight the evil space rats, and it's a wave shooter, and you aim to kill the Pug King, and you get little items that you can customize your space cat.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
Neat.
Yep. Check that out. I haven't played any of these games,
This is some
so I can't tell you.
This is some hard-hitting news you're hitting me with.
Here's the thing. I haven't played any of these games. So they are coming out.
Okay.
We will play some of them, and then I will have opinions on them.
All right. Well,
that's pretty much it.
This is more of a heads up.
Yeah.
Get your finances in order.
We are a news.
You
podcast.
are. That's not what I do.
What do you do here?
Well, we're still working. Scientists have yet to agree on exactly what I do.
What's your hypothesis?
I think that's the long part on a isosceles triangle.
Uh-huh. That's a hippopotamus.
Oh, I think you're thinking of the philosopher father of modern medicine.
That's a hypotenuse.
No, I think you're thinking about when somebody says one thing but then actually just does the opposite all the time.
That's a hippocampus.
Oh, I think...
All right, we need to be done with this bit. Where we
Oh, okay.
So last Saturday was Opportunity's 5,000th dawn on Mars. So congratulations, Opportunity.
Did we send $1 million cake to?
Opportunity is not supposed to be
still alive.
Still alive.
Oh.
And Spirit died years ago.
I know.
I mean, died.
My spirit died so long ago.
Yeah, my spirit died at the. Never mind. That's political. So Opportunity is still up and running and collecting data and knocking on things and good for Opportunity.
Get it? Opportunity? Did you get it?
I don't understand. Please explain it to
Opportunity
me.
knocks.
Why does Opportunity knock?
Why
doesn't it just come in?
You're not yes-anding.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't interrogate my bits.
Oh.
You yes-and.
Yes, and Opportunity knocks.
No. It's like that's like when somebody says, "Tell a knock knock joke." You
Knock,
start.
knock.
Who's there?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
actually
see?
have one. I'm sorry.
Now do you understand my point?
Oh, I get it. Okay.
What
I
else you
got
got?
it. Okay, so do you remember how I feel about BioShock?
Do you remember? Yeah, you love it. You love it very deeply.
I'd love it so much.
Yeah, I remember you just kind of disappeared for a few days when BioShock Infinite came
Yeah.
out. And you were singing haunting barbershop quartet versions of pop music.
Oh yeah. BioShock Infinite was not as good as BioShock, but BioShock it's one of those things that like The Force Awakens, I will never be able to analyze objectively because it was such a personal, cool moment for me.
I get that. I have lots of stuff like that.
Sure.
There's a reason we own Gremlins 2 and the Blade trilogy.
I think the Blade trilogy is objectively
Stands on
good.
its own.
Well,
okay.
the first Blade movie is objectively good.
Yeah, when we get to Ryan Reynolds, we start getting rocky waters.
There's some shit happening in the later ones.
I've derailed you. Please
I'm
continue.
sorry. So BioShock is based very heavily on a PC game called System Shock.
Sure. I actually recall that game
Yeah,
from back in the day.
Right. Did you play it?
Yep.
I actually did not play System Shock.
It was actually, I played it, but I recall it being frustrating for little Jared.
Yeah.
You go and you find a wrench is your first weapon, and you're kind of in a subterranean area trying to figure out why you're there and what's going on, and the game doesn't give you a lot of clues at first. And it's cool. It's an atmospheric first-person shooter kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot about, I mean, BioShock is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It was creepy. There was a creepy computer that mocked you, that sort of thing. So 2 years ago, Night Drive Studios started a Kickstarter to raise money to basically do a reboot of it, a remaster.
Of System Shock?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And they're an independent game developer, and they've done a couple other re-releases and remasters in the past. So this is 2 years ago that they did this Kickstarter, and they raised $1.3 million.
Wow.
To kickstart this remaster. And this week, they announced that the project is officially on hiatus.
Oh, well, hey, sorry about that $1 million you gave everybody.
Yeah. So that's
some serious horse shit. And I've seen quite a few Kickstarter horror stories lately of people who gave thousands or $1 million and then the thing just fizzled.
Yeah.
That's sort of...
And it can be especially difficult with things like video games, because often these companies will just liquidate and everybody will go their separate ways. And sometimes it's very hard to track down who is responsible for that money and where it went.
Wow. Huh.
And
Kickstarter needs to get its... I don't know.
Yeah,
what legal recourse is there here? Because that sounds like a class action lawsuit sort of opportunity.
And the question is, whose responsibility is it? Is it Kickstarter's responsibility, or is it the investor's responsibility?
Right, because if a whole bunch of people gave $30 each, I don't know that any one person would
care enough.
Yeah, or have the wherewithal to hire legal counsel.
Yeah, so it's a big question about like what happens, and part of the issue here is that they're just saying it's hiatus. Hiatus, we don't have a date, we don't have a plan of where we're moving forward, but it's just on hold.
Well, the truth is there's probably some sort of answer in the fine print. You click that agree box on Kickstarter, and I assume no one else went and read the actual agreement. But that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what the recourse of that is.
I don't know that there is recourse.
The
kind of sour grapes I see just in terms of personal friends feeds indicate to me that when a project just goes away, it goes away. And I think it's on hiatus or, we're still working on it is kind of the stock answer for the people that, I don't know, screwed you out of your reward.
And part of the issue with Kickstarter kind of in its core concept is like, you have an idea and it may seem incredibly possible. Yeah. Even, no matter how... This is true for everything, even when you're doing a project for business or personal.
Or pleasure.
You have no idea if it is actually possible when you begin it. And the bigger the project is, the more that is true.
You're getting downright philosophical.
I know. We're going to get...
That is true.
Getting deep. We're getting deep.
That is true. I mean, I guess a contribution on Kickstarter is a vote of confidence for an idea.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I want this to happen.
Right.
And the other person at the end, it is saying, I think I can make it happen.
But we all agree that the first stumbling block is X dollars.
Right. Yeah. We just need...
Sort of venture capitalist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Angel investor. Interesting.
Well,
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'd say I hope it happens, but while I played System Shock, it isn't one of the ones that are super nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be like somebody saying they were going to remake Zork or something. Like, okay, well, that was a thing. I do recall that.
I mean, I like the idea of remastering old games, but I mostly just wish they would take that time and effort and push the boundaries of new games.
When you say remaster, are we really talking about just taking the old game and making it look prettier?
Yep.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Sorry if you gave to it, but yeah.
That's not what made older games. And at some point, like, and this is sort of my issue with computer animated movies as well, I really want games to stop trying to be photorealistic, because there's a point at which you move from stylized to photorealistic where it's actually less immersive.
Yeah, you're talking to somebody who, my two main video games right now are West of Loathing, a stick figure RPG, and Pokemon Moon.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Yeah. So there's a point at which, like, so playing Bioshock 1 was clearly very cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
And Bioshock, the third Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
I had some problems with 2, but we won't get into that in this podcast because that's not what it's for. Bioshock Infinite was right on that line of, like, too photorealistic sometimes.
Right.
And
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, and there were moments where, like, the characters clearly didn't move correctly. I think this is kind of often Bethesda's problem, is that they will really focus on making something look really real, and then it just magnifies how much other things are off.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job in, like, I don't know, Fallout 4. They are not photorealistic people, and I think they did a good job of finding the sort of happy medium between photorealism and... I mean, they're realistic, but they're not...
Monster Hunter actually might be a good example of this. So, like,
yeah.
That is a beautiful game that is incredibly highly detailed, really uses to maximum effect everything that your system can do visually. But no one is going to say that anything in that game looks like something that could be in real life.
Right.
Like, those are not real human beings.
It's cartoony
that
in
is a talking cat.
Intentional way.
Yes. They've picked a style, and they've stuck to it. And it is, because of that, much more immersive for me.
Yeah.
Although, God, they make me walk a lot and listen to speeches.
Oh, quit pretending like you've gotten past the tutorial.
Don't.
You hate speeches.
Don't video game shame me in front of all of these people who are imaginary at this moment.
Leslie keeps starting Monster Hunter, and you're like, I'm bored. Let me fight something.
Okay, look. I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
I have a long commute. I come home, I make dinner, I take care of the dogs, I want to play a video game.
Yeah.
I don't want to do more tutorial. I've done so much tutorial. I am done.
It didn't bother me, but when Leslie pointed it out, it really did hit me. Like, in the beginning of Monster Hunter, they make you walk everywhere, and there are lots of games that weave sort of game mechanics training into the play. Nope, not them. They're literally like, now walk behind me to the tavern.
Yeah.
Walk behind me to the smith. Listen to this
let me tell you about this room.
long explanation about this.
And I just don't have time. I don't have time right now. I don't have time. I'm very busy.
You go to real-time school in that game.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to
just
weave it in.
Push me out into the world, aim me at a monster, and I will
Here's
figure
a sword.
it out.
Here's a starting weapon. You can complicate it as much as you want later.
Send a trainer NPC after me to yell at me when I make mistakes. That's fine.
Sure.
But, like, yeah, I just don't have...
Introduce me to the magic bug glaive later.
Also, I'm trying to start, 2 more novels. So, TikTok game.
All right.
TikTok.
All right. Wow, I hit a sensitive subject. It's all right. It's all right to be bored by tutorials.
I know. I'm gonna give it another shot. But
Good, because there are dragons.
it does look
and
fun.
Dinosaurs.
Maybe I'll give it another shot after this podcast.
Okay, cool.
Give it more shot.
Focus.
Why don't you just play the tutorial for me?
I
will
hate
play
it
the
too.
game.
I paid my
I know,
dues.
but like you can play it.
You're almost done. I promise.
All right, fine. Okay, we actually are done.
Oh, are we?
We've been done with the podcast for a minute. We've just been talking.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'd just like to say happy birthday to my mom. It's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, Molly.
Happy birthday.
I love you.
You're great. News at 11. Do you
Yeah.
have anything else?
No, that's it. You can like us on Facebook.
You sure can.
Follow us on Twitter. You can send us an email at newsgoblins@gmail.com.
That's the one.
You can give us a review on iTunes.
Yeah, we've been hovering at the same number of reviews for a while. So you, listener, if you're hearing this, go give us a review on iTunes.
Yeah. So you can dance if you want to.
Yeah, you can leave your friends behind.
Yeah, because if your friends don't dance,
Well, if they don't dance, then
they're no friends of mine. Yeah.
See.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.